this is Liz Wright from Cape Town in South Africa. Thank you for joining me. It's a little bit sunnier today than it was the last time I spoke to you, and today we're going to be coloring together this coloring page that I designed for you guys. It's done in support of the Ukraine. I've done sunflowers with a little gnome with sunflowers and freedom and light, which come in the prayer for Ukraine, and my plan is to color it mostly in the colors of the Ukraine flag, which are blue and yellow gold. I will have to add a little bit of brown, I think, on the inside of the sunflowers and some green for the stems, but I've printed the page on some cardstock, 160 gram cardstock, and I'm going to share some gel pen ideas for blending and things like that with them, with you, blending with this, with the gel pens. I'm going to share with you. So I thought I would do the freedom and light in a dark blue glitter gel pen. This is it's from a local store. It's a cheap gel pen brand, but it's quite a nice juicy one, and I'm just coloring that normally. So I'm just going to do that there. So I hope that you can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so that you will be able to see what's going on. There we are. So this is just normal coloring. I'm sort of making little circular and up and down moves to color with this. And I'll do the rest of this off camera. Then I'm going to do the leaves of the sunflower in a yellow, and I'm going to do a little bit of brown at the side to add a bit of depth. But what I'm going to do is sort of smudge the gel pen. So I have a baby wipe handy to clean my hands because they get dirty, and you can either use a silicone sort of spatula. I've got this as from Ranger Tools. This is a little silicone tool, or you can use your fingers. I tend to find my fingers a bit better, and you do stand the risk of getting this going out the lines a bit. So you create a little puddle and then you smudge it. You need quite a juicy pen to do this, creating a puddle, smudging it, creating a puddle, and remember with your gel pens not to give them a death grip. Have a nice soft hold on the pen, smudging, and I'm going to go through that whole area and smudge down. Oops. You need to do it very quickly. I'm going to turn this around so that I'm in the right direction. This particular gel pen is a Sergeant Art one that I'm using now. And I have a set, and some of them are fabulous and some of them are kind of dry and difficult to use. So not sure whether to recommend them or not. There we go, and smudge it. So this is what I was actually aiming for, was to get a kind of a paler center by doing this. So now I'm going to clean my finger and use a little bit of this brown Sergeant Art. I numbered these myself, but they are not numbered or anything like that. And I'm just going to go around the edge and pull that in a bit by going slightly on top of it with the yellow to get a bit of a blend there. Same on this side. It's interesting, one normally with gel pens one just does straight coloring, but if you have nice juicy pens you can blend and actually become quite artistic. So just going over that while it's still wet. There we are. So that's that done. And I'm going to finish these doing the same way. And then I'm going to color. Very important to keep the caps on your gel pens because they are a water-based ink. And interesting, I'm not sure what the formulation is made of, but if you leave your caps off, they dry out. So it's important to keep the caps on. So then I'm coloring the center in with this brown. I'll finish that off camera. So that was the one style of blending that I wanted to show you. Once again, kind of smudging. I'm going to do this one with the little silicone spatula. So creating a puddle and then pulling it over. Creating a puddle and pulling it over. Whoopsie. Creating a puddle and pulling it over. And this is quite saving on your gel pen ink because you're spreading it. And I'm going to pull this way and then turn it around again. Creating a puddle here, pulling it over. I'm hoping to leave the center more white so that I've got that as a highlight. Pulling it over. And I'm going to pull that up a bit. I don't want to spoil the nice dark line there. Just going over that. There's a little bit left on my silicone spatula, on my silicone tool. These come in a little 3 set, these silicone tools by Ranger, and there's a pointy one and this one. Let me take them out. This is what they look like, and I find this one with the thin point the easiest for use with gel pens. I find you have more control with this one, but it's quite handy. So now I'm carefully making sure to put, I just want to actually do this other blending here with the brown. So again, you need to work quickly and do things while the ink is wet. So I'm going to blend over that. I'll show you this method more on the gnome's hat. Going over there and bringing this in. So I'm mixing the two inks. Going in there. So while I'm doing this, I'm keeping the lid off so that I can work quickly. But one needs to be careful because as I'm working, I'm already starting to feel the cardstock giving way a little bit beneath. So I should possibly have let the other layer dry first. So I'm going to do that on this other one, and I'll complete this off camera. So click, put that on and click. Then I'm going to do a blending technique exactly as I did with the brown and the yellow, and I'm using two blues for that. I've got a Jelly Roll Moonlight pen here, and again my same blue glittery one. And basically what you do is, again, keep both open. Although I'm wondering, actually thinking perhaps I'm going to try my new Color pens and see if I've got a nice dark glitter, dark blue. I haven't swatched them yet. So it's nice dark blue. These are all glitters. And then a pale blue, sort of turquoisey. Just want to see what these two look like. I'm going to quickly swatch them on some other rough paper here. Nice dark blue, beautiful, beautiful, soft, sort of juicy pen. Oh, I think those two go beautifully together. Okay, so now I'm using the Color pens that I unboxed the other day. And I'm going to, first of all, starting with the dark blue where it would be a shadow, I'm just coloring. So I want this all to be dark blue here. And then I want to start bringing in the pale blue in the middle here. So I've done a little bit there, that's almost a puddle. And I use the pale blue over that and start to mix the ink and bring it out. Bring it out and go towards that side, and while that's wet, bring the dark blue over that and mix it in so that we get a nice blended color. So I'm going to carry on. Bringing the pale blue. I forget to talk when I'm colouring, get into a zen-like state. So talking of Zen makes me think of Zen doodles, and this is another thing that one can actually do with gel pens, is you can doodle so nicely. You can really enjoy your Zen tangling or whatever. You can even fill part of a picture with some different patterns and doodle patterns and have fun with that. If you're interested in maybe seeing some patterns that you could use, let me know and I'll share some with you. Perhaps we could play with patterns on some leaf images or flower images or something along those lines. but that kind of adds texture to the page that you're using. And now I want this crease shadow of the hat to come here, and the shadow around that leaf a little bit. Mix that in. I think this can all be in shadow. Color out a bit here. Hope that you can see what I'm doing. Join. Becomes wider here at the base of the cap. So forgive the sounds from the other room. My husband's busy using the microwave. I'm not sure if the sound is carrying through. I suspect you can hear the ring of the microwave. Just want to blend this together here. So the inks actually blend quite nicely like this. And then this is going to be dark blue. Just around the edge. And then I think I'm going to make it light on the edge. So this is kind of blending by just making sure that the ink stays wet, and I just, in color pencil, this is kind of called scumbling, these little circular ways of coloring. It's just coloring basically. So, there we are. I've shown you that kind of blended way of colouring with the gel pens, how to blend the colours together. You can do another layer if you want to get more of a mix, but you kind of pull the one colour out. Bit damp, so I don't want to break the paper here. It's going to mix that there. Just sort of feel this needs to be darker along there. So once it's all dry, I can fix up anything that I'm not happy with. But I think I need to leave this to dry now and then complete. I'll do the other bits off screen. I was thinking of doodling in the leaf, and I was trying to think of a doodle that would work well in this leaf, and all I could really think of were lines. So I've chosen two just plain classic, they are not shiny or glittery or metallic or anything pens, and I thought I'm going to just try, these are both Sargent art, just try doing lines sort of almost with a flick, so that you've got more of the darker bit at the base, not the base, the area nearest the stem. So I suppose that's not really doodling, but then I thought take the lighter bit on this side. Wonder if I shouldn't take a yellow. Not sure. Let me see. And then the yellow. I think I'm going to find a greeny yellow. There are some greeny yellows. Or yellow greens. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. So then I'm going to make sure I'm on screen, flick this inward from that side, trying to follow the shape of the leaf a little bit. And then I'm going to, so it was that one, this one can go back. Going to go in again from this side with more flicks. So it more or less covers it, but going to leave a few bits of light to add texture and interest to the leaf, I hope. You can tell me what you think, if you hate it, if you love it, if you like the idea. When your pens, when your gel pens are not working, you can try darting them, and it sometimes gets that little ball, like a little roller ball, to work again. And it sometimes doesn't. I believe that companies can buy products in China like gel pens and then label them themselves, maybe give some specifications or choose from different products. So both with color pencils and things like gel pens, one tends to get a lot of fairly similar products sold by different companies, and that's apparently why. Oh dear, this is one of those pens. So I'm going to finish that off screen as well, and I shall come back when the picture is completed, and then you can tell me what you think. So here is the finished image. I completed all the sunflowers in the same technique as I showed you, and our little gnome lady with her sunflower, or gnome gent, I'm not quite sure what he is. I also did the background just with soft pastels. I'm sure you all know how to do that. If anybody would like me to do a color along and show you how I actually use the soft pastels, then please say so in the comments. I love how this turned out. I'm not so sure about my shading in the corners. I did that on purpose because I wanted this idea of sort of bringing it in, but I think I should have used a darker blue rather than this grey. So that was just a bit of a bad choice on my point, but on my part. But other than that, I've finished this image, and once again, if you would like to color this image, it's available for free. All you need to do is send me an email and I'll send you the PDF back. My email address is in the more information below this video, or otherwise it's also in the community tab where I speak about this color along that I'll be doing for Ukraine. So if you'd like to color it, you can use the hashtag color along with Liz at home, or you can use whichever hashtag for supporting Ukraine that you would like to use with it. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful and colorful week. Bye bye now.